So good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
So what's your name and your position?
But my name is Abel Nyombo, and I'm the statutory district superintendent of the Wisari district before position number 3.
And this you've been attending now two days of this workshop on 1325 and 1820 and the Liberia National Action Plan. And can you tell me, before the other day when you came here, had you heard about 1325?
Oh yes, yes. I heard of. I attended a 1325 workshop or whatever you call it in Banga.
Ah, okay.
For the first time, the second time. As a matter of fact, I was one of those who was named there as, they got some name for it, those who are always in regular attendance, especially who can, what do you call it? And so it was in the early, middle time of the president's first term. Yeah.
Maybe you're referring to a 1325 champion or something like that? Or
Yeah, 1325 champions. I think that
excellent.
was
Very good. And can you also explain to me a little bit what your job as the, you said assistant superintendent?
No, statutory
superintendent. What does that entail? What are your responsibilities?
Well, you may know that all along this big crowd of decentralization did not just start last year or year before, 5 years ago. They've been here since some 10, 20 years. Even previous governments thought on that, and so they decided to decentralize the local governments by giving the power. And to get the power, you got to increase the capacity of the government representatives in the district. And so a county or an administrative commissioner will not be able to articulate very well for government to the people and for the people to the government. And so previous governments before they succeed this one in place put in statutory district that will be having some voice in budget preparation for the county and for the district, and preparing those items that will be consumed by whatever amount allotted, and other things that we come from the bottom to the top arrangement on projects and whatnot, instead of receiving. And that was the top of previous government. So the statutory district was created, I think, not only in Grand Bassa but around the country, and so that those district superintendents will be able to represent government very well and represent the people to the government. Though they put their own legislator, but in the development process, you may know that development is not for the legislators. They are lawmakers. For those laws that will be coming into development aspect, then the executive government will process that, and that's what we should be doing for the people at the bottom of the towns and the clients and the weather, and compile all of that, projected to the government for implementation.
But am I correct, or have I understood it correct, that so far, even as you may have, the power to influence the budgets and use the budgets, the actual development planning is still coming from central level at this time?
Oh yes. It hasn't the digitalization process that started some 15 or so years, and not really materialized. It's still got a bottlenecks, and so I think the crafting of a new shape of administrative procedure perhaps may bring in an easier access into receiving the budget component of the district, maybe in some 2 to 4 years. I don't know. But currently the legislature is debating that a statutory district or electoral district receive $1 million. That's what I'm hearing in the radio and whatnot, but I haven't really got the papers in my hands.
Okay, and so in light of that, do you think that what we're doing here, and especially what you've been doing yesterday afternoon and will continue to do today, which is drafting your district local action plans, which obviously won't be an official document because of the lack of mandates for you, but do you think that these action plans could serve as some kind of advocacy tool that you can use to raise the issues, and eventually when the decentralization is rolled out on a more official level, that you could use these as a basis of integration of 1325 and 1820 into your development plans when you indeed will have the mandate to do them yourselves?
Oh yeah, sure. Oh yeah, sure. Even before this, the coming in of the proposal currently on hand with the 1 million to a district, the county has been operating on a development council arrangement where all of us statutory superintendents are represented and laid on a table, on a high table composing of the senators, the representatives, the county superintendents level, and one director and other people. A hearing from our district level. So this time we'll be able to lay into our district plan how we can help to alleviate this violence against women and the 1325 companies and one director, so that they too can see the reason why we may want more dollars if there were any allocated to our place, so that we can be able to go down to the villages and let the people know, especially the women, as to what they can do to bring themselves up.
And what will you yourself, as statutory superintendent, do after this workshop to take the knowledge forward to the people that you oversee and that you basically work for?
Well, I tell you what, in my own or in our own arrangement as statutory superintendent, because what we're doing number 3 is doing number 1 and the rest of the time, because we always have a uniform set of implementation. What we done in number 3? I got 3 administrative commissioners and the rest of the guys. So we have established in my capacity as statutory superintendent a council, and basically it's sort of be designing or soliciting from the various sectors, the women, the youth, the elders, the marketing association, what are the challenges and all some of the successes. We also enumerate that each year and maybe 2 times before the year is over, so that from there we will be able to, like you said earlier, what will you do with the 1325 in terms of your development planning meetings and whatnot. Then we lay that to the desk of the county superintendent. For instance, if the marketing association have a billing and it was articulated in our superintendent council meeting, then we will have captured that into our report and submitted to the county superintendent. And Madam Widow Cooper, who currently leading the county authority, had beautifully designed a reporting strategy where every month, at the end of every month, we 5 statutory superintendents, 9 administrative commissioners in her control, we come down and report to her at our activities and whatnot. So in that instant is where we tell her, look, Madam Sue, we have the marketing association, no billing, no debt, no this, no that. We don't have a high school, and all of that superintendent council meeting, we have got a high school in my district where I run. We got a full-fledged high school, and it's 3 years or 4 years, 5 years old now. So
Great.
these are the things that we do for our own end.